Hi, everybody. I am so grateful to be here. And they gave me a stack of cards. This is what I have. So just like cut me off when you want me to stop talking. Originally, you know, when they asked me about Laura and I have been through makeups and breakups and divorce and cancer and late nights at QVC and like a lot together. So I felt like she's in like my fabric. And Julissa is a new friend, but an old friend of many of you and of Shop Today. So you know, you get to a point in life and you talk about stages. And just so you know, that if you missed it, Naomi Watts said that some version of that, of being F-unable at 40. So I feel like we have free reign. You know what I mean?
Oh,
After that.
She broke the crowd.
Right, like I think we're good. But really, getting back to purpose, I want to talk about, first of all, if you could just, you know, we know the headline. So this is what they wrote about you, okay? She's the founder of the iconic makeup brand Laura Geller Beauty, who's made it her mission for nearly 30 years to help millions of women feel more confident at any age. Okay, so that's the, like, AI version. What at this stage do you want people to know about you? What's the headline?
I think for me, I started out as a makeup artist for celebrities, TV, film, theater. But the most gratification I got was when I worked doing real women that wanted to feel empowered. And for me, I think the biggest gratification that I get, because I'm not doing makeup anymore and I miss it, is that when I see somebody say just what you said to me, that you love my makeup, or that I've made your life more simple or more goof-proof, and you enjoy using it, or that you're learning things from me. To me, that is the most gratification. It's so much sexier than saying I did so-and-so, because I did so many amazing faces in my lifetime. So I think—
Who's like the one when you like stand out that you're like, ah, oh, like a beauty?
Audrey Hepburn.
Right.
Audrey Hepburn.
Right.
I mean, I know I look good, right? I mean, no, it was when she was much older that I had done her, and actually she was ill when I was doing her, but—
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
and still the most.
And still the most poised, beautiful woman, but like sometimes I forget the amount of people that I've done. And she was just elegant and gorgeous, if you could ever imagine, and kind. So yeah, but I think just being able to talk to you and say, do you like my makeup? Or if you didn't hear of the brand, it's nice to meet you, because I never assume that everybody knows Laura Geller Beauty. We've been around for a million years, but it's not, you know, we're not everywhere. So this, to me, this opportunity to speak to you face to face, thank you, Stages, thank you, Jill, for having me, is everything to me. I don't get to have that interfacing,
yeah,
you know,
especially
often.
like post-COVID, it's like everything. I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, yay, love you. Okay, Julissa Prado, am I saying it? Okay. Trailblazer in the hair care industry, founder of the viral curly hair brand Rizos. My mom's a Spanish teacher. Good. Curls, right? I said it right. Curls that encourage women to embrace their natural curls. So what I love, two things. When we were getting ready in the green room, you were using a pick and like flipping your hair, and that took me right to the years I peaked in the 80s. But also that, you know, somebody said to me, I don't know who, I think it was Lisa. Lisa? Where's Lisa? She said, oh, your skin's so beautiful. And I said, thank you so much. I grew up with really bad skin, and they called me pizza face. And so when somebody says that now, I'm like, wow, thank you, like my skin. You grew up in a, again, pain into purpose, I'm not gonna say it over and over, but you grew up in our age group, which straight hair was the thing. And I have really curly hair too, and like you were agonizing, because it must have been not only hard to get your hair straight, but you probably didn't want to fully, right?
Yeah, so it's really interesting, because I've always felt that my self-love journey started in loving the thing that I hated most about myself. I think that, and I see that so much in so many other people, and
that's so powerful, loving the thing that I hated most about myself. That's
yeah,
really...
and I see that same kind of trait in so many other people, whether it's, for me it was my hair, for others it could be like their skin, it can be their socioeconomic background, it can be any quality, but it's almost as if once I learned to love that piece of me that I hated, it was like I unleashed the 2.0 version of me. And not only that, but I truly believe that my purpose then began to help other people go through that same kind of like self-love journey that I had and make their life easier, at least with that little piece of new knowledge that I had learned. And
that's a big piece. Like you have like anyone who has girls. Okay, so like so hard, like whether it's the skin or the hair, you can name it. Like tall, short, medium, whatever. Like there's always something wrong with a young girl. Hair is a tough one, and like we talked about this in the green room and we'll get to it, and Mommy, I'm sorry you have to listen to this stuff, but when I had breast cancer and I lost like 70% of my hair in chemo, and they said, well, people would say you should like basically just be happy you're alive, and it's like, that's like a really low bar. Like I could want to be alive and also want my hair to look like me. Like it looks pretty short, it's just not mine. Like that's not what I had. So like, I think hair is actually, at least for me, and I didn't, that it's so much of so many of our identities. And a girl who I went through it with, Stacey, do you know Stacey Griffith? Does anyone take Soul Cycle? She had chemo at the same time as me. We sat in the same room. And she was like, I'm shaving my head. That wasn't part of what she identified with. So I'm sure that it's like such an interesting journey for you.
Yeah.
Like going from something being so painful to being like how you support yourself.
Yeah, definitely. And I actually had a testimonial that really moved me, that kind of reminded me of what you just shared. Is I was at Whole Foods one day shopping, and one of the workers that were working there at Whole Foods, this lady comes up to me and she's like telling me that she had just gone through chemo maybe like 4 years prior and had beat cancer. And what she said, that after going through chemo, her hair grew back completely different. It was curly, but it was a different curl pattern.
Texture, right.
Completely different curl texture, completely different pattern. And she felt like those same feelings that she had felt when she was a little girl, of like having to relearn to love that part of herself, having to go through that journey, that experience of like, who am I, And she said that was her first step towards like reclaiming this new version of her after her surviving cancer, was like just the basics of learning her hair again.
Yeah.
And she said that once she was able to, she used my products, and she went actually like we had like an online curl class, and she attended one of those, etc. And she said that with the products, she was able to, and the education that we provide, she was able to relearn that, and it was like such a huge turning point in that new version of her. She felt like she almost like let go of the person that she used to be, and she became somebody new. And I feel like that testimonial to this day is one that really, really moves me.
Yeah, it's like moments of impact, things people say that you're like, that they resonate with you forever. Like, do you have something that you, like for me, life is calendarized before and after cancer. And when my oncologist gave me the permission to do that, he's like, everything is gonna be calendar. I don't know if he used the word, is that a word, Mom, calendarized? Yeah. Before and after, I felt like it gave me to be like, oh, that was like my marriage, like anything that wasn't working in my life, like that was a chapter, and then I could like start over. It gave me like a new sense of permission. Did you have a moment like that?
Jill, I just want to back up and say, I don't know how many of you, I would imagine all of you, followed Jill's journey. And I want to tell you something. I had people coming up to me telling me that she saved their life. And Jill, you saved so many lives, and you truly turned pain into purpose. You are speaking for so many people that need that help. It's something that, I had breast cancer in 2019. I did not have to go through what Jill had to go through. And I always recognize how fortunate and blessed I am that I did not go what went through. So I never feel that I should be the voice, because I didn't have what you went through. And I want you to know it's powerful, and you have to keep doing what you're doing. I feel like you were put here for a reason. I do. I feel like, and I'm sure you're told this on a regular basis.
Well,
So,
I don't want to make this about me. But
no, I just wanted to tell you that.
I really appreciate you saying that, and the reason I'll take it and talk about it is because
You're helping somebody.
yes, and I'm going to use this as that. But before I even get into this, are there other survivors in the room? Can you stand if you're a survivor? Laura?
I think everybody, whether you are a cancer survivor, everyone in this room has encountered something drastic in their life.
Some level of trauma.
There is nobody that escapes adversity.
Right.
There's nobody. And I think if you come out the other side, you asked me what mine was. 2019, my best friend since I was 10 years old died. Then I got diagnosed with breast cancer. 2020, my mother died. Half of 2020, my sister died. It was a very dark time. And I just have to say, when you ask me how you turn, what was it in my life, those couple of years where I didn't think that I was going to see the light. But you know what? You put we all do it. I'm no different than anybody in this room. You put one foot in front of the other if you're fortunate, and you come out so strong, and then you don't give a F about anything, and there's no more filter, and you get to say what's on your mind because you survived the and let me tell you, we all have the everybody in this room. I know it.
Unfortunately, people like Hara, my sister-in-law, who's better known as Leo's mom, they had a fire in their kitchen yesterday.
Oh, God.
I know. And nobody told me. And I feel like, if it's not cancer, everyone's like, oh, I don't want to bother her because she's dealing with so much. And it's like, grief can't be, everyone's allowed to feel. It doesn't, I hope it's not cancer. I hope that's not what you're going through. But you're allowed to be upset that the fire went off and that the kitchen's not well and Leo is in the house. It's not cancer, thank God, but so when you say to me, I didn't go through what you went through, and I think a lot of survivors will tell you, any level of it is horrible.
Oh my God.
And so, I was telling you in the green room, it's not green, but there's a whole story as to why they call it that. I feel like, first of all, we had a really beautiful, in the middle of this mess, healthy baby who's so smart, smarter than all of us and funnier than all of us, and I felt like God gave our family a choice, and I chose to take it, and he's thriving. And I also feel like there are very prominent people who have the platform, and today is the biggest celebrity. The Today Show platform, I mean, I've been a part of it for 20 years, but that's really, you guys trust the brand. We can all come and go, but it's for real, and we're a real family, and it's all real, and this is exactly how we are. Keep losing my train of thought.
No, it's okay. Well, let me go back to me.
No, but
so just a second. You were saying
it was
that it's
something
okay.
you said.
It was something I said.
Yeah.
That I didn't feel I had the right to complain.
Right. Anyway, so we got that point across. But
Okay.
so the point I want to make.
Whatever.
The point I want to make is that only people who are I believe if you were given cancer or anything like that, you were given a platform to help others and to be kind. And there are prominent people who have come up to me who say, I have young kids, I don't want the girls or the boys to know that I have this gene. And thank you for talking, because I don't want the kids in school going up to them and saying, your mom has cancer.
Right.
So they come to me feeling guilty, saying, I know I'm this big famous person, and if I spoke, maybe more people would get tested. And I say, let me do it for you. I have the platform. And I say to my mom and my dad, I just hate they have to listen to it over and over again. But I do want to use this for a minute to just say, if genetic testing, if you have a lot of cancer in your family, not breast cancer, and just so you know, up until 45 years old, luck was always on my side. Tests are 93% sonograms. I was in the 7%. It's not you until it's you. So please, if you have a lot of cancer in your family, likely numbers-wise, someone in this room has the gene that I had. They're just numbers. That's just statistics.
Wait,
and so,
just a minute. You had the BRCA gene?
Yeah.
Right.
My mom had DCIS, I was like, you took the hit for us, mommy. But like, I always knew, and I was up on my mammograms, up on my sonograms, and I went to take the BRCA test, like randomly. It was random, and I said, my mom's negative for BRCA, and they said, what about your dad? I'm like, there's no breast cancer in my dad's family. So I took the spit test in between Zoom calls, and 2.5 weeks later, they said, you know, you're gonna, like, we suggest getting a double mastectomy, getting your ovaries out. You know, you have a 60 to 90% chance of getting breast cancer. And so I was like, oh my God. So I called Dr. Port immediately. I got the doctor. I don't crowdsource. I call one person who like gets me to the right person. And I was like, let's do this immediately. Anyway, I was going in for the preventive surgery, and like, I just remember doctors like running in and out. And I like saw the screen, and I was like, oh my God. And so anyway, I had like really serious cancer, which would have been incurable within the year. So like, I don't want to talk about that, and I'm sorry, but it's like if somebody goes and gets tested, it's worth saying that.
It's so
because I was always the lucky one, you know? So that's my PSA. I just, like, on my card, like, now I don't have to say anything.
No, never stop giving that PSA, because right, Mom? Right, Howard? I think you have taught so many people through your journey. We don't have to make it about.
The only other positive I want to say about the journey is that you're given from trauma, and you know, and whether it be death in your family or death of your partner's families that you go through, or death of somebody, I mean, unspeakable things are going on in this world right now. Every day you wake up with a choice, and like no one, my mom said, no one would blame you if you want to lay in bed and pull the covers up over your head. And my Sherpa squad is here, and my team, and my family's here, and every day I choose, it's a decision, because it's like a pivotal moment. I choose to get up. And I choose to thrive, and that's what I pick. And I choose to believe that. I choose to believe that, you know, someone here who knew my mom's, anyway, someone here who knew a family member of mine that my middle name is named after. I don't think that's a coincidence. I think she's saying hi. I choose to believe that.
Wow. No, that's powerful, powerful. Jill, do you feel truly, you know how people say,
but this
like,
is not, could we move on? And I also want to, I also want to open it up.
By the way, every time I talk, she goes, not that you did that.
No,
all right,
because
let's
I don't
move
want to talk
on.
about me, but
let's talk about beauty.
I want to, any questions, any hair questions? Let's do like hair and beauty questions for a little bit.
How
like,
do I have her hair?
What's one item, like if you have really, I have natural, I don't know how it's gonna grow back, but like for naturally curly haired people in the summer, who like their hair curly. My mom's, for example, she blows it straight. What's like the one product if you're going to a desert island?
Okay, so there's two parts to this. One, the product I would say is our curl defining custard, because it has both moisture and it has hold. And the one piece of advice I want to give, so many people say, oh, my hair gets so frizzy, or my hair will look good when I first moisturize it, but then it'll like get really frizzy as soon as I go outside. It's because so many people are afraid of hold. They're afraid of a cast, they're afraid of hold. Hold is what will keep your hair from getting frizzy, because that moisture that you create when you add a cream or moisturize or anything on your hair.
But it's out of the shower, so you get out of the shower.
So if a simplified curl routine that I would recommend, if I'm just generalizing to like something like my texture, like a 3, and mind you, it could work with coiler hair and wavier hair. You might just need to edit like the add more or add a little less. But essentially, you get out of the shower, your hair is soaking wet, and then you apply, I like to apply something for moisture and curl definition, and then something for hold. If you add those two.
Soaking wet?
Yeah, so first you apply when your moisturizer. So I like to start off with we have a heat protecting multivitamin leave-in that has over 14 vitamins and amino acids. It's like a multivitamin for your hair. It also protects against heat up to 450 degrees, which if you're using a blow dryer, I even use it when I straighten my hair. It's honestly the best leave-in you're ever going to use.
Are we getting any of this?
I hope so. I don't know. If not, I'll figure it out. But anyway, so I like to start off with that. I put it in my hair. I'll quickly be able to detangle it. It moisturizes. And so I'm like putting it all over my hair. I like to use a praying hands method, which let me show you. So that's like praying hands and scrunch. So that's how I apply my product. And then I go in with the custard. The custard is very slimy and has a lot of slip. It's best for people with really dry hair. If your hair is like really fine and it's not that dry, then you could just do a curl cream, or you could just do our light hold gel or our strong hold gel. But if you have frizz-prone hair like mine, you're gonna obsess with the custard no matter what your texture is, because it has ultra moisture, ultra cold definition, and about like a medium flexible hold. So it's gonna be slimy. So you're gonna see it like, oh, as soon as it enters your hair, you're gonna see that frizz control. So you're gonna like this.
Show me you're an entrepreneur without telling me you're an entrepreneur.
And then like really coat it all over your hair, and then you can either air dry or you can blow dry with a diffuser, and then you'll see your curls are just gonna pop out. And then what I like to do before I completely finish, I get either our alcohol-free hairspray or that same gel or a stronger gel, especially if I'm gonna be in this New York humidity. I might go for a little stronger, and then I'll just like lightly coat it just to like an extra layer of protection. So if I'm using the alcohol-free hairspray, I'll be like, all right, I like how I look. So then I'll like, I'm ready to take on New York.
Oh, that was amazing. I know. Amazing. Laura, what would you say? I feel like my thing, if you know me, is like lip gloss. Like that would be the one, everyone has their one thing that they don't like about themselves, that they're like, I want to use cover up, or I need lip gloss. Is mascara like the thing that we should all always wear?
You need everything, okay? Mascara. You're lucky that you can get away with as little as you do. You're very lucky.
I use the Laura Geller, Nicole, we use the Laura Geller palette.
No, listen, I think everybody does what they need to do. You know, when I had a store in Manhattan.
I know, I remember that.
You came to my store? Oh my God, I had a. Oh my God, somebody from my store did her makeup for her wedding. 30 years ago?
You have day ones.
Oh my God.
You were in there shooting with me in the gym? They were. You know that?
No, but it just shows, like, I was asking Jillian, and I know you're not supposed to say this, but we were talking about how old we were, and I was like, you're such a good producer, but like, imagine I'm 19 years later. Like, you just have 20 more years of stuff, of experience, of trauma, of life. Like, you just can't compare with time and experience, you know? So it's like, as you get older, it's like, I remember thinking, oh, I'm never gonna need Botox. It's like, someone's like, what's the trick to your skin?
Good
I'm like,
point.
Botox is the trick? I was like, are we not supposed to say that? Like, oh my God, I do so much worse than Botox.
No. Like what?
I don't know, like,
Oh.
I mean.
What's your secret?
Yeah.
Beside Botox that I'm not doing.
No, I'm just doing, I had filler for a while, but then I stopped using filler,
Yeah,
and now
yeah.
they do Botox. I hate the lines above my lips.
Yeah. No, when I had my store and I did makeup, I remember when customers would come in like 2 seconds, I could size them up. And it's not something I learned from going to college or a program. I knew what their lifestyle was. I asked a few questions, and I really tailored the makeup for them, for what they would recreate, because I can do a gorgeous makeup on you. I'm a very good makeup artist. But can you recreate that at home, sir? I don't think you could. I know.
You're welcome to push back.
I know.
At your own risk, sign a waiver.
I mean, listen, I have Geller gals, but I also have Geller guys. And Chaz Dean uses my Kajal liner, and he calls it guy liner. My friend Chaz, who has a hair company.
You love Chaz.
So I just think that you have to do what's comfortable for you. Like, you came in the dressing room, and I was looking at you, and I thought you looked gorgeous, but I'll be honest, I think you need a little eyeliner on top.
And let me tell you something.
Just a little bit.
My mom, when I was going through chemo, she walked in, she's like, here, and it was an eyebrow pencil. And I'm like, Mom, like, I have no eyelashes, no eyebrows. And she's like, you could just draw them in a little bit.
Oh,
and
no,
so
yeah.
if she could say that, you can say, on the top,
I mean, I'm saying you're lucky that you look so good with so
No,
little. Because you're a beautiful
We're here
woman.
for tips. So like,
But I'm just saying, a little liner goes a long way.
would you say navy or purple? I heard purple, like, black or just?
I mean, not black for you. I would do like a deep charcoal or maybe even a deep aubergine or deep plum. Consults available after for $250 each. No.
But really, thank you so much, and I hope you come to everything, and I hope this starts a beautiful friendship with all of us. And everyone, let's all give you a big round of applause.